A man caught using a stolen credit card is spending 45 days in jail. Reynaldo Garcia, a 20-year-old Quincy man, pleaded guilty to attempted identity theft in the first degree and possession of stolen property in the second degree. Garcia has no previous convictions and was sentenced under a first-time offender waiver. The other person allegedly involved in the crime, a 27-year-old Quincy man, remains charged. The credit card was stolen during an April 13th burglary on Mountain View Drive in Quincy. The burglars stole jewelry, cash, and 5 credit cards from the residents. Garcia reportedly tried to use the credit card to purchase about $400 in items from the Ephrata Walmart and about $30 in gas about 3.5 hours after the burglary was discovered. Columbia Basin Secondary School is preparing for a big change this fall. Students and staff got together to celebrate the future and share memories. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Columbia Basin Secondary School's end of the year bash on Tuesday was a time of celebrating the future, sharing fond memories, shedding some tears, and a few laughs. Columbia Basin Secondary School in North Moses Lake, which is intended to reduce high school dropout rates through special student programs, will become a neighborhood middle school next year. The change is part of the Moses Lake School Board's solution to student overcrowding. James Yonko, principal at Columbia Basin Secondary School for 5 years, who next year will become a vice principal at Moses Lake High School, explained what the event was all about.
We decided to do this event just to provide an opportunity for the community and the staff to get together one last time, just celebrate the success of Columbia Basin Secondary School, an opportunity to say thank you for 30 years of support.
Ashley Martin graduated from the school last year, and she formed a bond with the school's teachers and students. As a Columbia Basin Community College student looking toward a degree in computer science today, she talked about what the school means to her and how it helped her.
I came here when I was in 6th grade, about 2005, and I wasn't very good academically. I had a problem with an attitude and an anger issue. And they solved all of it. They made me who I am today.
Isliana McAvenue, a junior next school year, will be one of the students moving on to the Columbia Basin Technical Skills Center.
It's positive. A lot of kids are working harder to make themselves proven that they're not just secondary school, they're not just the second-class students. And I think the negative is a lot of kids have just given up because they're like, my school's closing down, so they're upset.
School representatives sweetened the end of the year bash with grilled food and special treats. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thanks, Jeff. In Northwest News, the state Supreme Court has ruled that police dashboard cameras can't be withheld from public disclosure unless they relate to pending litigation. 5 of the High Court's members said today that the Seattle Police Department wrongly used a state statute as a blanket exemption to the state's Public Records Act when it denied providing dashboard camera videos to a reporter with Como TV. Their ruling overturns a 2012 King County Superior Court judge's ruling that said the department could withhold videos for 3 years. The majority awarded Como attorney fees and sent the case back to the lower court. 4 justices argued that the statute was clear that the recordings should not be released to the public until completion of any criminal or civil litigation. The state is setting traps to learn if 4 species of moths that attack wine grapes have moved into Washington. Washington is the 2nd largest grape-growing state in the nation, but vineyards could be damaged if certain species of moths appear. The State Department of Agriculture says it will place up to 1,000 traps this month to catch moths, mostly in central Washington. Traps will be placed in most of the 13 major wine grape growing regions. The traps will be checked every 2 to 4 weeks during the summer. Officials say similar surveys the past 2 years found no sign of destructive moths. The European grapevine moth was found for the first time in the U.S. in 2009 in Napa Valley of California. If you don't like bees, okay. If you run from seeing one single little bee, this story might not be for you. A couple in Connecticut started seeing a bee or two, and after a couple of years, their bedroom was soaked in honey. For CNN, reporter Matthew Campbell has the story.
Bees swarm a honeycomb while unrefined honey drips from a ceiling.
It was like National Geographic literally was the situation was in our home.
What you see now is a far cry from what it looked like when Maurice and Aisha Smith moved into this Garden Street apartment 3 years ago. Back then, the couple says bees were just a minor nuisance.
They just kept getting in the house. Somehow, 1 or 2 bees would get in the house, even though we closed all the shutters and the windows.
They say they called management each summer.
As soon as the season gets warm, springtime comes, they come.
But things really got bad this month.
It was every day we were killing like 2 or 3 different bees, and they were getting bigger and bigger as we were killing them.
After years of complaints, exterminators were sent out yesterday and today, and this is what they uncovered. Thousands of bees swarming out of the ceiling, exterminators covered in honey, bees stuck to their suits.
They came and they were overwhelmed. They opened one little crack in the ceiling, honey's dripping out, honeycombs everywhere. They were overwhelmed. The guy's drenched in honey.
Exterminators believe the bees got in through these vents.
We could start a honey factory. Seriously, it's bad.
So we sat down with property manager Linda Reeves.
Tenants were saying that they've been complaining for years about this and nothing has been done until yesterday.
The same exterminator company that we use comes out every year.
With a big hole in the ceiling and honey all over the bedroom, the Smiths are now sleeping in their living room, bees still buzzing around. Management promises them a hotel if the problem isn't cleaned up by tonight.
When you take a look at how much honey and all of this stuff, it looks like they've been there for years.
I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for bees to do whatever bees do.
The management company is based in New York and is aware of the problem. The Smiths will be reimbursed for any damages. Exterminators will now be going through other parts of the building to see if the infestation is affecting other units. That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.